Hello and welcome to Football City. My name is Marcus Lee and I am responding to the news 24 hours after the fact that Ruben Amorim got sacked by Manchester United. And unless you've been living under a football rock, you already know this information, right? But just for me, I needed some time just to process it, get my head around it. I spent most of yesterday in just like, wow, can't believe the man is gone. We've been talking about it for a long time. All the pundits have been like, look, is this man going to stay? Is he going to go? A lot of people just baying for blood and wanting him out the door. And it's like, it's happened at last. And doing this also as well, by the way, this is my first ever YouTube live on the Football City channel. So this is a first for me. One, because I just wanted just to talk freely. And also because I didn't want to do a lot of post-production and a lot of editing after that. So this is just going to be quite raw. So stick with me. Thank you for checking out the channel. If it's your first time you're checking out, please do all that good YouTube stuff. Please give the video a like. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos of this nature. So yeah, Ruben Amorim got sacked and everyone and their dog has been talking about it, giving their responses. And I think ultimately, it's not a surprise that he's gone. I think all of us who maybe wanted him to leave, all of the Amorim outers wanted him to go. But the reason that we're surprised, it's not because he's been sacked. We are surprised he's been sacked, but it's about why he's been sacked. So it's not been about the football results, which is what we all complained about. It's not about he hasn't been sacked because of the football he was playing or the results. It's about what he said. So it's the manner of the sacking. After that Leeds game where he came out and he made comments where he said, look, listen, I've got to do my job, but so does the sporting director, so does the boss, so does everyone else. Everyone else has to do their job as well, and I've got 18 more months here, and after that, we'll all say our goodbyes, we'll do that and move on. Saying that about your bosses is ultimately why he's being sacked. And I think for us United fans who've had problems with the way that the hierarchy has worked with the Glazers, with Ineos, and the way they operate, the way that we don't feel like they support their managers, he has finally said what a lot of us wished a manager would say. So he's done that, he's done it with his chest out, and you got to applaud him for that. But if you talk to your bosses like that, you are going to get sacked. So that's not a surprise. So we all respect it and we all say big up Ruben for saying what needs to be said, that you've not been backed, that the board aren't backing you, that Jason Wilcox is trying to do one thing different to you, and that you're feeling like you're not getting to run the team in the way that you would like to, and that you're not supported and that you're not being backed. So big up for saying that. But ultimately, if you say those things, you're going to lose your job. I mean, if you work at Burger King and you stand up and you say, you know what, I don't like these managers. I don't like how they run the kitchen or how they run the staff schedule. Big up for speaking up, but you're gonna get fired. So respect to Ruben Amorim for speaking out. But I thought when he did go, and I thought he'd stay until May. I knew there wasn't longevity in it. I didn't think he'd stay for the next 3 years. I didn't think he was the man to bring the glory days again. But I thought they'd give him till the end of the season, because what are you going to do between now and May? And look at where the team are. The team are in 6th place, and we would have been 5th if it wasn't for Chelsea stealing a point against Man City at the weekend. So Man United, despite where they've been, finishing last season in 15th, managing to get to a place now where we're in one of those European spots. And if you were to kind of guess where Man United would finish this season, finishing in the top 6 would have been a great achievement, especially in comparison to finishing 15th. So Man United are exactly where you kind of guessed they would be. And I know there's been lots of opportunities for Man United to get into that top 4, and we've been dropping points, but then so have Chelsea and Liverpool, and Spurs aren't really anywhere to be seen. Newcastle, not really anywhere to be seen. So there's been opportunities for Man United to get into that top 4, and that still could happen. But for Man United to be in this position where they are right now is a good thing. So Ruben, after all of this time, got them to this place. So the fact that they sacked him now, that's what's surprising. And when a manager gets sacked, when your manager gets sacked of your team, this is how I feel. I'm not sure how to feel. Ruben's gone. What do I think about that? Because there was a period where I was like, yeah, Ruben, you've got to go. After Grimsby, after that Brentford result, I was like, this ain't good. It's not working. I'm not feeling it. I want to change. But then there's also lots of good things about Amorim that I think, well, maybe it's worth sticking with. Maybe it's worth seeing this through. Maybe it's worth getting to the end of the season and then reassessing where do we finish in the table? Do we win any silverware? Do we qualify for Europe? Does the team look better? Is the football better? And that's where I'm at. So me saying that I'm not sure how to feel, I think back to when Ten Hag got sacked because then again I didn't know how to feel. I remember when the news came through, I was sat in in the toilet in my house on my phone because that's how I get down, and the news came through. Ten Hag has been sacked, and even though there was talk of Ten Hag, his days being numbered, this could be his last game. His last game was against West Ham. Eventually, when he got sacked, I felt a bit in limbo because it needed to happen at some point. The team were performing so badly, not winning, and yeah, it had to happen. But when that happens, it's an admission of things not working, and it means that your team is broken. So it's getting to that point where you realise my team's mash up. Things aren't good here, and now we've got to start again. And it's that feeling of what's next, the unknown. What do we do now? Who do we go get? And yeah, the powers that be above these clubs probably have another manager in mind, and often they do. But where do you go next? And it's not going to be business as usual because a new manager comes in, because business as usual means we just keep doing what we're doing, but we're not going to do that because that's the reason why we sacked the man. So things have to change. New man comes in, money has to be spent because the new man is going to come in and want to do things differently. Is that going to be a change in formation? Is that going to be a change in system? Is it going to be a change in players who were once favourites and now get relegated to the bench? And people who were sat in the reserves who now come to the forefront? What's going to happen? It's all of the unknown. And how is that going to affect our season? Are we going to start winning suddenly? Are we going to drop off? Is there going to be a new manager bounce? Or are things going to get worse? What's going to happen? I mean, look at Wolves. Do you know what I'm saying? Barely having a new manager bounce. They've just won a game after goodness knows in how long. So that's how I feel about Amorim being sacked. Like, yeah, there was part of me that thought we need a change. It needs to go. It's not working. But then there was also a part of me that thought I think we need to stick with this a little bit longer. And I think about the Amorim experiment and the experience as a man who said there's going to be suffering. Damn right, Ruben's been suffering. We've all been suffering. And no one wants to hear that. You want to hear a manager come in and say, things are going to change, it's going to be good, we're going to start something new and amazing, and we're going to win games, and we're going to climb up the table, and the glory days are coming. You want to hear all of that stuff, and I know it's hinting at things like that. But I think about Ruben Amorim as like a new exercise regime or a new fitness workout regime where you think, right, this is going to be difficult, this, and yeah, we are going to suffer, and now I'm having to train bits of my body that I haven't trained for a long time, and now this is hurting, and now I'm having to run more than I used to, and now I'm waking up the next day and my legs are hurting, and now I don't get to eat some of the foods that I enjoyed before, especially at Christmas, I'm not getting to enjoy some of those snacks that I really liked or drink as much alcohol as I liked. But actually, slowly but surely, things are getting better. I'm starting to look a little bit fitter. Things are getting a bit slimmer here, there, and everywhere. This is a metaphor, by the way. This ain't real life because I need to work on myself. But, that's how it was with Amorim. It felt like a workout that was difficult and that you're suffering at times. But gradually, slowly but surely, things are getting better. And like I say, you look at where he picked up Man United, and I think they were in 14th or thereabouts when Ten Hag was sacked. And yes, I know he finished in 15th place last season. But now we're in sixth place, which is exactly where you place Man United. So things have got better. Other things I liked about Ruben Amorim, I like the way he spoke. I thought he was really honest, saying that, we're going to have to suffer and this is the worst Man United team in history, and being brutally honest. I dig that. I appreciate that. I respect his honesty. I like the fact that we were making improvements. I feel like we were getting better players in, a better type of player in than we had before. You know, he said goodbye to some players who might have been fan favourites, but maybe their attitude wasn't quite right. So he brought in players that seemed to have an attitude which was for the club and wanted to work hard, and I respect that. Like I say, we're moving up the table. This is the highest we've been in a while. I liked, what else did I enjoy? I liked the fact that we've had some good wins. We've had some good wins under Ruben Amorim. You know, Man City, beating Man City after dropping both Rashford and Garnacho and thinking, how on earth is this going to work? Is this guy mad? And then we still went out and won. I love the fact that we beat Lyon in that crazy 9-goal game. What a game. What a game to watch live when we looked dead and buried. And then Sir Harry Maguire comes back and wins it for us. That's under Ruben Amorim. I've enjoyed scoring goals, you know, scoring 4 goals, because we never scored more than 3 goals under Ten Hag, in my memory at least. You know, we certainly conceded more than 3. But, you know, putting 4 past Bournemouth, putting 4 past Wolves, you know, starting to look like we're capable of scoring goals again. I've enjoyed all of those things. But there were also lots of things that I didn't like. And even those things that I've just said that I liked, those things are things that Liverpool and Man City and Arsenal are just enjoying on the regular. So for me to talk about beating Man City or having a great result in a European game, like all these other teams are doing that anyway. So the things that I have enjoyed about Ruben, they feel like they're few and far between. Things that I haven't enjoyed this 3 at the back. This 3-4-3, this system, and all this talk about system. Yeah, I am a fan of Man United with a back 4 because that's what I've always known and always loved. So this system, which just feels really defensive, I've not been feeling it. And yeah, 3 at the back might have been about, you know, having more control from the back. So, you know, we're just, you can't beat us. You can't get through our defence. That would have been great in theory, but we've been leaking goals anyway. And then we've had less control in the midfield. So that's not been fun. It's not been an enjoyable time. It's not been an enjoyable season. 14 months under Amorim, if we're all being really honest, and that's tragic. So in terms of the future, because on the thumbnail I think I put what next or what now, what happens going forward? Now we know that Darren Fletcher is stepping in to be the interim, I believe until the end of the season, and that in itself, you know, obviously it's a placeholder, but there's nothing exciting about that. There's nothing exciting. Sorry, my Mac is about to die, so I'm just going to plug in my charger. One second. There's nothing exciting about that where you're thinking, oh, right, yeah, the glory days are coming back now, man, because Darren Fletcher's in the mix. Like, what has Darren Fletcher done? Has he just managed the under 18s? So this ain't a man coming in who is like, you know, right, okay, we're going to see some great football, Fletcher football. It's going to be wicked. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a placeholder. Will Fletcher play his twins? A lot more. That remains to be seen. But I think what will happen now with United is that I think we'll get a bit of a bounce where another man comes in and the players want to impress. So that will be good. I'd be really interested to see if we go back to a back 4, because I would love to see us go back to a back 4. 2 centre-backs, 2 full-backs. That is the football I know and love. Let us see that. Let's do that again. I would love to see that. Or will Fletcher feel the need to stick to a back 3 because the hierarchy at United feel like they bought players, they bought people to fit this 3-4-3 system that Amorim was building, and is that what Ineos want to see going forward? Is that what Jason Wilcox and the Mandem all want to see as well? Was that some of the arguments that, you know, what were those arguments about? Do you know what I mean? So I'd love to see Man United return to a back 4. I'd love to see some more attacking football. I feel like the past 14 months has been about very defensive football. I would love to see those changes. I would love to see that going forward. And then it's about who will be the permanent man. I don't think Fletcher will do an Ollie. I don't think they'll say, all right, Fletcher's doing some good stuff, so let's keep him, let's give him the job permanently. You know, eventually they'll get someone else. Could it be Glasner? Could it be Pochettino? Could it be a De Zerbi? I don't know. None of those names really excite me. And this is where I stand as a Man United football fan today. I don't really know what the future looks like, and I'm not massively excited. Because I think Ruben Amorim, whether you liked him or disliked him, it was a breath of fresh air. He was a young manager who talked a good game and looked like he could do some serious positive change at United, removed some players who you never thought would have ever been removed. You know, Rashford, gone. Sancho, gone. Garnacho, gone. We don't want players like you anymore who were more about ego and about self. I respected that. I had so much respect for that. So Ruben Amorim did a lot to change culture and bring in players like Cunha and Burma and Šeško and you know, just really just start seeing the start of something really positive at United. But we won't see that again now. I think the next manager will probably be a yes man. Obviously, Amorim's thing was about being a head coach, saying, you know, I'm not here to be a head coach. I'm the manager of Man United. But obviously, the hierarchy were like, no, you're a coach, mate. So the next man that comes in won't have the swagger of an Amorim, where he wants to be the man. It'll be a yes man. It might be a younger manager like a Carrick or a Kieran McKenna who just gets told what to do and they go along with it. And it's like, yes, I'll coach, and all right, I'll just manage whatever players I'm given. I don't know if I want that at United. I want the glory days back. So who knows what happens now? I think there's every chance. Listen, if I'm trying to be optimistic, there's every chance we'll see a bounce. There's every chance that United will go forward. There's every chance that United could finish in the top 4. There's every chance because no one else seems to want it right now. Liverpool dropping points. Villa being amazing, but you know, Villa might or might not finish in the top 4. Chelsea, who knows? New manager coming in there. Who knows what will happen to them? We have just as much of an opportunity to finish in the top 4 as everyone else. But if not a top 4, definitely top 5, top 6. That's what I see happening with Man United. But as for the future, the long-term future of the club, I do not know. I do not know. I can't feel excited about the next manager down the line because they're going to be a yes man. I can't massively get excited when I think about people like Wilcox at the club who feel like they've got too much power. Too much power for someone who hasn't achieved much in their own working world anyway. To be shouting, calling the shots and disagreeing with the manager. I don't know what that future looks like. But I would love to know what you think. Listen, this is my first live, so maybe I've rambled a little bit, but I'm just ranting. I'm just exporting my thoughts live. What happens next? I'd be interested to know what you think. So listen, please, if you're watching this back, please leave a comment in the comments section. My name is Marcus Lee. This is Football City. It's a brand new channel. I would really appreciate your support. Comment, tell me what you think is going to happen with Man United moving forward. And what happens with Amorim as well going forward. Saw a little video clip of him fist bumping a paparazzi while he was leaving his yard. Man looked happy. Man looked quite happy. You know, yeah, he's got a payday and he's leaving, and you know, he'll move on to pastures new. And I know it's not all about the money, but he's leaving with a decent amount of money in his pocket. Whether that's in one big payout or whether that's in installments, you know, Man United are going to look after his bank balance for a little while. But what does Amorim do next? Does he get another job in the Premier League? Does he go back to Portugal? Does he go somewhere else in Europe? Does he take time out? What happens? We'll see. But whatever happens with Amorim, I wish him all the best. I genuinely wish him all the best. Not bitter. I'd love to see him do it in the Premier League. I'd love to see him go to another club, play his system, and be a success. Who knows what will happen? We shall see. Football City, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Until then, take care.